Well, hello everyone, it's Mr. Freiberg here, and I will be teaching Year 8 Maths to all of you in Term 2 as we enter online learning. And what I thought we'd do is, or what I thought I'd do is just to give you a short video on what online learning might look like and what your eLearn classroom is going to look like this term. All of you do Japanese via online learning, and so some of this should be familiar, but specifically looking at some of the things that I've set up in our eLearn classroom and where you'll find resources, etc., things like that. Now, the good thing is if you can see this video, then you've already accessed the Learning Place and Blackboard, but if not, you go to the Learning Place. As you can see the address on the screen, and down on the right hand side you've got your eLearn Blackboard link, which if you click on that will take you to that familiar looking page where you would probably find your Japanese class. You might also have some other classes here now. One of mine, you'll notice underneath my courses, yours will say student, mine says instructor, and you'll click on CSHS Year 8 Maths. And that's what it'll look like. So when you click into our eLearn classroom, yours won't have an orange stripe up the top. That's just something I've got as the teacher. But what you will see is announcements. You'll see these 5 items down the side, and what I thought I'd do is just run through each of those really quickly. So the announcements is where I communicate with all of you. So rather than sending 30 odd emails, all I'm going to do is I'll post an announcement on here and it will go to your email automatically. Email is probably going to be the best way and the easiest way for us to communicate. So I might jump down over here to the staff information on the left hand side here. You'll notice that there is my email address. Okay, and also if you can't access email, that's the phone number for the school. Please give me a ring if you are having any dramas. Okay, so announcements are the first thing. All of our documents, all of the important resources, etc., will be posted here in the course documents. So if I just click into there, and you'll notice that our first folder, these are all folders here. First folder says course overview. Now, if I go into that course overview folder, you'll notice that we have the actual course overview. So these are all has been stepped out and shows you what we are going to cover in each lesson for this term. 3 lessons a week, as we have always done. There's also the know and do table, and there's also a third document here which you can download, which is called Connecting to Live Lessons. This last document here we've prepared. It's a 4-page document where it'll give you some step-by-step instructions to actually join the live lessons if you have a bit of trouble with that. But also particularly now that you're using your home computer, you may have to download the Blackboard Collaborate program to start with, and so we give you some instructions around doing that. By the way, as I said, all of these are downloadable documents. You just simply click on that link and it will actually download it for you. You can see it's there in the bottom left corner of the screen. When you click on that, it will take you to Word and it will open up the document for you. You can save it, you can print it, or you can just view it on the screen. Okay, underneath the course overview, you'll notice then that we've got week 1 through to week 5 pretty much stepped out and planned so far. Within week 1 and within all of those weeks, there are 3 lessons. This is what week 1 looks like. I may modify this slightly and put the learning intent and success criteria underneath the lesson title. We have 3 lessons in week 1, establishing index notation, and then we start looking at some index laws. Now our live lesson is lesson 2. Now that may not always be the case, but in this week it actually fits in quite nicely. The big thing here is though, boys and girls, you need to ensure that you've done lesson 1 before Tuesday morning. Okay, so sometime on Monday or before, you need to go into lesson 1 and you need to complete that lesson. The reason why I've done it like that is that lesson 1 is actually a revision of some material you saw last year. And then the new gear starts here with our live lesson. So if I click on that live lesson, that's again another folder. You'll notice I have some instructions up the top. And then underneath those instructions, we've got some documents to download. Now the first one is the PowerPoint presentation that I'll be teaching from. And what I've done is I've actually made it a presentation. So what will happen is you open it up, it becomes a full screen, and you'll be able to click through slide by slide by slide. You can pause as you wish, but that will be the PowerPoint that I will be presenting in class. Okay, so if you miss something, you might be able to go back and access it through that. So there'll be spaces in there for you, maybe if you want to complete some of the questions, or you can take notes from that PowerPoint presentation. I also have on here some class notes. Now, if you don't want to do lots and lots of writing off the PowerPoint, you might like to download a copy of the class notes and save it. It's a PDF file format, so you'll need to print it out, and then you'll be able to write some answers, notes, etc. on that document and then glue it into your book. The last part of the class notes is the textbook exercises, and I've also reproduced the textbook exercises as a separate document. Now you can download one or both of these. I'd probably just download one, and so if you didn't download the class notes, you can get the textbook exercises from here and vice versa. Now with those textbook exercises, just like school, we expect those to be done, and I will be able to check your work. The easiest way to do that, you'll see down here, there is a final sort of place for you to submit those. Now I call classwork PPMP. Perfect practice makes perfection. And this is where you can submit your PPMP. It says, please scan or photograph an electronic copy of your completed work. So if you have a scanner, easy, you can scan it and you can save it as a PDF and you can put it in there. If you do not have a scanner, but if you have a smart device like a iPad, a tablet, a phone, something with a camera, you can take a photo of it, and then there are apps out there that will actually convert it for you, free apps by the way, that will actually convert it to a PDF, and you can then perhaps email it to yourself and then send it to me that way. Now if you find it easier to send it via email, send it via email, because this PPMP submissions folder will actually tell me via email that you have completed your work. Let me just go in here and show you what it looks like. I've made these out of 10, so it's basically completing your class work. And you'll notice that around this section here it says attach files. So you go and search for your file, you attach it in here, you can write a little message to me if you wish, and then you press submit. Easy done. That needs to be done for every lesson. Okay. So that was the live lesson. If I go back to lesson 1, which is establishing index notation, this is a revision of material you saw last year. Again, I've got some instructions. Again, I've got the PowerPoint presentation. And again, this is a presentation that will step you through slide by slide, so you can go through it at your own pace. You've got some notes to accompany that. You've got the textbook exercises, and then you've got the place where you can submit your completed work. Same with lesson 3. Week 2, I haven't decided which one will be the live lesson, but I'm thinking it's actually going to be lesson 1. So that doesn't mean Monday becomes a bludge. It means that lesson 1 is now Tuesday, and you need to find 2 other times during the week when you'll complete lesson 2 and lesson 3. So that's the course documents folder, and you'll notice that they will change week by week as we sort of update and put material in there. I've shown you the staff information. The discussion board over here on the left-hand side is a place for you to communicate with each other, or if via email, I notice that a lot of people are having a similar problem, it might be a place where I can place an answer or maybe some worked solutions, those sort of things. It's kind of like a work in progress sort of place for the time being. Last thing I want to show you in this quick video is the live lessons. So over here on the left hand side, the bottom menu item is live lessons. You click in there and you'll notice that we have our first live lesson already scheduled. Our live lessons are every Tuesday morning around the period 1 time. So I make the lesson active at around 8:45. That gives you 15 minutes to join it. I'll start teaching at 9 o'clock on the dot, and then I'll wrap it up at around 10 past 10. But as you'll notice, we leave that open for a little bit longer in case anyone has any questions. On the actual day, you'll notice a little purple dot will appear here underneath the available. Now, like your Japanese lessons, that's the place or the spot where you click and it'll open up the lesson in Blackboard Collaborate. Now, if you haven't had a live lesson on the Monday, although I believe you do, If you click on that purple dot, the first thing you'll have to do is download and install the Blackboard Collaborate program onto your computer. Remember, back in the course documents, I give you some step-by-step instructions how to do that. I'm going to assume by now you've got that program already installed. So when you click that little purple dot, you'll get, I think it says meeting.collab. That's the place where you can access the live lesson. You click on that and you sort of follow the process through, and you'll get to your familiar live lesson screen. Now, boys and girls, if you've got any questions at all about any of this, remember to send me an email or phone the school if you have trouble accessing your email. And I'm looking forward to seeing you and hearing from you all on Tuesday morning. Thanks, everyone.